Good Wednesday morning. Welcome back here, Totem Pole Nation, coming at you live from Totem Pole Nation South here in the beautiful St. Petersburg, Florida. Coach Taylor, how are you doing, my man? What is the weather like there?
It's nice today, but we're the low man on the totem pole. That's why we're Totem Pole Nation. I think some people might have forgot. They might have forgot how we got the name Totem Pole because we are the low man on the totem pole. And Sergeant Slaughter, you are a great American. You should be on the United States of American currency.
Oof.
Coach Bald, how do you feel about Sergeant Slaughter?
I tell you what, just the other day they had the special on the Iron Sheik, and it was so good. I'm definitely gonna rewatch it, but I think out of all of it, the thing that just was the best part about it is when he was out there and he was just trashing America, and who stepped up and put him down. Oh yeah, the Sergeant Slaughter. I agree with you, man. He should be on American currency. That guy is just a legend. He's done so much for us. He represents the USA. He is he's a leader here at Totem Pole Nation, and he doesn't even know it because he inspires us all.
Yes, he does. Coach Hutch will be joining us at 7:45. He's got a recap of the NHL playoffs.
Ooh.
And NHL is a very popular sport in Canada and other parts of America. Maybe even Tampa. Tampa's got a team.
We did, and I believe we took those guys to the woodshed. The last time I looked, it was 7-3. Yeah, we hit a touchdown on those guys. So, yeah, inspired because guess who we're playing? Toronto.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Get the Canadians down here, eh? Get them in the hot sunshine. They don't know how to play.
I know a guy from Minnesota, and they told me Minnesota is near Canada.
Well, I'll tell you.
Like I said, I didn't study geometry in school.
Good thing.
All right, so here we go. Westbrook. What do you think about Russell Westbrook going up into the suite to fight the guy that was talking smack?
You know what? Back in the day, it wouldn't be. You would have never heard of it. But now, because we have social media and stuff like that, it's publicized. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it a big deal? I think because it's publicized, it's a big deal. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I think it's a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? Like, you get caught up in the moment sometimes. He's definitely, a very emotional player, and you shouldn't let a fan, get under your skin like that. I don't believe. They pay good money, really good money to go to those games. They should be able to kind of do and say whatever they want. As long as they don't put hands on you, hands on your family, or do anything very disturbing like that. You know what I mean? Like anything aggressive towards your family, then hey, man, they pay for that ticket. Let them do what they want. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is, man. I don't think it's worth running up into the suite.
But it's good for the game.
Hey, you know what? It is
good. People are going to watch.
Right. Did you see the stomp on the stomach?
No, I did not. But Marcus Vick from Virginia was the one that really originated the stomping on people. Elvis Doomerville from Louisville. So Draymond Green.
Yeah.
I like Draymond. He talks junk. He fights people. He's got a podcast. He went to Michigan State. I recruited a corner that he beat up in a bar.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like him even more to just hearing that.
The guy was head-butting Draymond's fist. Draymond was actually the one that was being assaulted because the guy was head-butting his fist.
That is never a good I don't know. That's just never a good strategy to try to headbutt somebody's fist, or like we saw with the cyborg AD Palmore. It's not good to try to headbutt his foot, or it just isn't. If you're gonna headbutt something, maybe headbutt a face or a head, but other things like headbutting an elbow, bad decision. Headbutting a fist, bad decision. A knee, bad decision.
And we've added a new sponsor.
Is that right?
Totem Pole Nation and to the Life Lessons podcast. That is Recruit Compass. The Recruit Compass, which started yesterday and has already helped a 6'3", 290-pound offensive lineman from Georgia that goes to Palmetto Prep. He was the first customer of Recruit Compass, and myself and Zach Hayden and Coach Bald can even get on it. Coach Bald will be heading the Southern Division of Recruit Compass. But we talk to guys about recruiting, and we get their huddle film straight. That was the main thing with this kid, was he didn't have his best plays first. And we already contacted 4 college offensive line coaches for him. So we're trying to change lives, help get others to the next level, and build champions for life. And this was started because Coach McNally doesn't want to deal with looking at kids' film. So, Coach Bald, are you excited about Recruit Compass?
Without a shadow of a doubt, man. It is. This world is about making connections and stuff like that. We've been blessed. I mean, look at the connections
we're gonna have to
had.
we're gonna have to add Isaiah Wynn to the website. We're gonna have to add the Griffin twins. We're gonna have to add the receiver from Kansas City,
Marquez Valdez
Scantlin. Yeah.
Woo! Cyborg.
Look at that lineup. The Cyborg. Man, now that's a lineup right there, dude.
Who's not letting us in?
That's the lineup right there, dude. You throw Isaiah Wynn, and you throw the twins and Marquez Valdez Scantlin. That's impressive.
Yeah, man.
That is impressive.
But yeah, that is really good stuff, man. Coach McNally, he's such an innovator at 79 years old.
Yeah.
To have him, link up with us, and he's one of our leaders. We're talking about leadership, dude. He's our leader. Go to Totem Pole Nation, check out Coach McNally's podcast if you want to see football straight from the heart, from a man that has been blessed so many individuals. His tree of coaching will be one of the most amazing when time is, when his time comes, man. That path and all the guys that he has been under. I mean, you're talking about Anthony Munoz, Jason Peters, Hall of Famers, Reuben Brown. Just so many guys that he has had an impact on. And, Scott Peters right now. I mean, tip of the spear. Is there anything in that has to do with offensive line work that is more, meaningful and doing more good for the game than, tip of the spear? I mean, this is what is going to prolong this game. We had the CTE for so many, that was just blowing up, and we have to make the game safer. Scott Peters, and it was Coach Pollock, I believe. Those guys started it, and, they've got Coach McNally on board with them. They're all learning together. Bill Callahan. We're talking legends of the game, changing the games, and, hey, changing lives, man. That's what it's all about. That's what we do here at Totem Pole Nation. I'm just so fired up to be a part of it, man. It does. It's where I want to be. Yep, Lightning 7-3 last night over the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, so I'm just updating the Twitter for Recruit Compass, and I'm adding on they're excited to have Coach Bald to be a part of Recruit Compass. Coach Bald has been a part of programs or coached the likes of Isaiah Wynn, Shaquille Griffin,
Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Valdez-Scantling.
Yep.
I don't even know what his Twitter is. I'm going to have to look it up.
MVS.
That's it?
MVS.
There it is.
Yep.
Isaiah Wynn, Shaquille Griffin, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and who else?
What's that?
Who else do you have?
We had Rodney Adams.
We have the Cyborg.
Rodney Adams, man. Rodney Adams was a freaking unbelievable talent for the University of USF.
Cyborg. What's Rodney Adams'?
I believe he's getting into acting now.
What's Rodney Adams' Twitter?
Definitely his name. Yeah, definitely
Rodney
his name.
Adams, Twitter. And he played for UCF?
USF.
USF.
Yep. Toledo, USF, and then I believe he was.
It's Rodney_Adams 87.
That's him. 87.
And this is gonna blow up right here, man.
I believe he's getting into acting.
That's great. We need to get him on.
Oh man, he's such a talented guy.
Get him on.
Such a talented guy.
Boom. That's huge, man. That is huge.
Man, can somebody tell my wife that I'm doing a podcast right now to stop texting me, please? Breaking news. Anybody watching that knows her, let her know. Thank you.
Anna, we wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't for you.
Exactly.
Kyle Anderson would not be sitting in front of a Paradise backdrop if it wasn't for you. And here we go. Jim Tim said, I will. See, that's what I like. He's not asking what. He's not saying why. He's saying, I will. And that is the will, determination, and commitment that we expect from the one and only Jim Tim.
Big game James.
Jim
Good
Tim.
morning.
Recruit Compass, Jim Tim, is on the map. All right? Recruit Compass is helping. And we're going to be honest. All right? We're not going to lie. We're not going to deceive. We're not going to sell hoop dreams. We're going to be honest. We're going to help point young athletes in the right direction. All right? Now, for our own programs, we don't charge for this service. But for kids around the country that are contacting Coach McNally, we're talking about $50 for 30 minutes of guidance. All right? And if you mention Totem Pole Nation, you will receive a $10 discount. That's $40.
Wow.
Miss Anna's been texting. Matt Davis.
Thank you.
Now, this is a very important podcast, we know, but nothing is more important than Kyle Anderson's wife, Coach Ball. Okay?
Amen. Hey, I just saw something really cool, man. I got a George Foreman documentary movie coming out, man. Did you know that?
Who plays this part?
I don't know, but I saw Forrest Whitaker as his corner man. So imagine how good that's going to be. Forrest Whitaker, Ghost Dog is the movie I think of with him. He's been in so many classics. He is such a talented guy.
I got to go see Air.
Air.
Man, dude. Excited to have Coach Ball to be a part of Recruit Compass. Coach Ball has been a part of programs or coached the likes of Isaiah Wynn, Shaquille Griffin, MS11, the real Cyborg, and Rodney Adams. Dude, that right there takes it to another level.
That's a lineup right there.
Look at this. All right,
that's a lineup right there.
We started working on this. All right, it was me. I started it yesterday morning. All right, and we started this to help kids. All right, so there we have Alan Michael Cash, Brandon Ross, Andre Branch, Morgan Moses. But now we've added that lineup. So what is it? Introductory, $50 price, 30-minute Zoom call, NCAA Eligibility Center info, recruiting overview. What is the recruiting process like? Size evaluation. So we're looking at your size. You know, we're not determining whether you're the right size. We're just going to tell you what they look for. We're going to look at your transcripts, your GPA. We're going to look at your huddle film. We're going to formulate a plan to proceed in your recruitment. All right, but look at these guys that Sterling Hammond, Defensive Player of the Year. This guy was offered by Virginia Tech, and we recruited him. There's one, Justin Thorpe. My friend Zach.
Oh, there he is. Yes, sir. Totem Pole Nation.
What's happening?
We have our bodyguard, our strength and conditioning. I just felt stronger just a second ago, and I was wondering what the heck it was.
Hey, we will be talking to. We will be talking to. We will be talking to the Duke strength and conditioning coordinator here within the next couple of days.
Nice.
Jim Tim said I was talking about Coach Bald's wife, not to text right now. Wow, Jim Tim. Wow.
Whoa.
Okay, we're not exactly on the Joe Rogan experience right here. All right, this is the low man on the totem pole. We're not on Lex Friedman.
Yeah, we're not talking AI. We're not talking.
All right,
we're not talking about crazy stuff
MIT.
in politics.
We're not exactly on. What is it? Jake Paul's podcast. What is that called? Unpausable?
No idea.
No idea. We have no clue what we're doing here. Here we go. Did you see Deion Sanders' site I sent? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Sat there and watched a 15-minute highlight film on Deion Sanders yesterday. All right, let me ask y'all this. What uniform did Deion Sanders look the sweetest in?
Oh, that's a good question, Coach.
Which uniform did Deion Sanders look the sweetest in? All right, so let's take a look at these. Y'all tell me. I'm just going to show. We know he was number 21. That's exactly right. In the number 21 uniform, he did look the sweetest. I mean, I don't think he wore another number 21 other than maybe with the Redskins or the 49. Okay, so Jim Tim says the 49ers. Thank you, Jim Tim.
I don't know. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I will say he probably did look the best in the Cowboys uniform.
All right, so you're saying the Cowboys. All right, so let me see here. Let's take a look at Deion, prime time.
If I could chime in on this one, gentlemen, he did have the swag that, he just brought that swag that nobody's ever seen. But, I respect all you guys' opinions. But in my opinion, when he was rocking that Florida State with the deuce, the number 2 on that jersey, that was hard to beat. And, hey, maybe he was a trendsetter because now guys can wear numbers like that. What do you think about that?
I mean, I agree, but what NFL jersey, uniform?
NFL, when the Falcons rocked those black jerseys that first time, the too legit to quit era, that changed football in Atlanta. It made Atlanta almost legit. It made them almost legit. Him, Andre, Bad Moon Rising. It's the bad moon rising. It got me fired up to watch the Falcons, man. You knew he was going to get a pick
until they ran into the Redskins, baby.
Oh, and they got hogged out.
Cowboys uniform. I'm sorry. I hate the Cowboys. But
yeah, I'm not a Cowboys fan.
Cowboys uniform with the white and royal blue Deion Sanders shoe. All right, I'm bringing it back.
Well, Coach Ball, you're talking.
DJ Mo. Thank you for being a part of Totem Pole Nation. You rock with all the O-line podcasts, but now you're here watching us act a fool.
Yeah.
All right, this is the less serious. Matt Davis says the black jerseys. Jim Tim said except Florida State. He had 21. I don't think he wore 21 with the Ravens.
37 or something. It's a weird number he had with the Ravens.
It was a weird number. All right, so Coach Hutch, NHL hockey.
Yeah.
Which some people call a communist sport. Now, I'm not saying that I call it that, but can you update us?
Well, yeah, some big games last night. If you flipped over to NHL at any point during the early evening, you would have seen that the Rangers were up 2-0 on the Devils, and the Lightning were up 3-0 on the Maple Leafs just in the first period. The Rangers even had another goal that got called off because there was a little high stick action going on. But within one more minute, they scored another goal, made it 3-0, ended up finishing that game 5-1. So they got a good opportunity there to continue to get to the next part of the playoffs. And then the Lightning just mopped the floor with the Maple Leafs. Now, Maple Leafs came back a little bit in the second. They were able to score two goals, but it was a little too late. You know, a lot of the fans had already kind of gotten out of there. And then, unfortunately, I fell asleep before the final of the games between the Winnipeg Jets and the Vegas Golden Knights, and the Avalanche versus the Seattle Kraken. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. The Jets won 5-1 over the Golden Knights. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. They had a pretty stellar third period, you know, going in the second, nothing. Then you get 2 for the Jets, 1 for the Knights, and then that was all she wrote for the Knights. And then the Kraken scored a goal every single period. The Avalanche were only able to get 1 in the first period. So right now, they're going to be doing all right. Well, the Rangers got probably the toughest division, Tim. They're going to have the hardest road to get to the Stanley Cup Finals. So I just, I'm a Rangers fan. That was my first ever hockey game ever, was the Rangers versus Capitals in Game 2 of the playoffs back, a decade ago. But, man, there was some hard-hitting, great hockey played last night.
Yeah, playoff hockey, coach, is just it's another level. It's like, it's like preseason football and then regular season playoff football. I mean, these guys go to another level. It seems like, the penalties, that not as many penalties and stuff like that. And it's so much more intense. And the fans, I mean, they go nuts. Like, people don't really realize this unless they're here, but this is a hockey town. The hardest ticket to get is not a Bucks ticket. It's not a Rays ticket. It is a Lightning ticket. And it's electric, man. They just customized that stadium where they had their own lightning show go off during. And, man, I mean, you leave that place and you are fired up. And I love it, man. I was excited to see what happened. Andre Vasilevsky, there's a playoff Andre Vasilevsky. And that's why he's as young as he is and has as many rings and championships as he has, man. It's playoff time, and these guys are dialed in. We're all excited about it here in the Bay Area.
Yeah, I told you back when I went down there, my buddy played for the Tampa Bay Storm, the arena football team that y'all had down there. And it was pretty cool because at the same time they would utilize all the stuff from the Lightning, and they had that big lightning rod on the top, and every time they scored, lightning would be going off. And I said, there's the atmosphere there that I haven't seen anywhere else. I mean, the closest atmosphere I've seen where the fan engagement is high is probably NC State football games, where they got some pretty good light shows and stuff like that, where they're getting everybody involved. But yeah, man, the Lightning, they've been on a roll for quite some time now. They got a very good opportunity to get back to the big show. But Tim hating on the Rangers, but at the same time, they got a good opportunity, even though they are in a very, very tough division, to be able to make anything happen. I think they've got, the number of, the New Jersey Devils, but at the same time, I think moving forward, it's going to be a lot tougher for them to get anything done.
So Jim Tim's here got a question. Did you hear they finally signed and now they are at Performance Center, the Commodore?
Oh, the two basketball player girls, women
from the Miami Hurricanes.
The Twins. Yeah.
It's all about the U, baby. It's all about the U. Sean Taylor. Watch the football life of Sean Taylor. All right.
Yeah. Hardest hitting guy I think I've ever seen.
Santana Moss, Clinton Portis, all about the U. Watched it yesterday. All right. Full Send Podcast. They're from Canada. All right. And I hope no one's offended by the NHL comment. That was a joke. But the Full Send Podcast, the Nelk Boys. All right.
Yeah, sorry, we're getting an announcement here, but not
Yeah.
pertaining to me. Yeah,
we need to get you on Full Send Podcast. All right, Hasbullah, you got a fan for me, but I don't rock with knives, dude. I don't rock with people having knives and guns around me, Hasbullah. Yeah, we will punch you like a football. Dave Portnoy and the Barstool Sports, we had a beef with you, but we don't anymore because we're the low man on the totem pole other than the madness. Coach Bald, would you like to update Totem Pole Nation about the status of Sarah Blake Cheek? And I did not see a smile come from Coach Hutch's face. I didn't see his teeth when I mentioned that name. Sarah Blake Cheek.
You know, as far as I know, is, man, when it comes to football in the SEC, and when you live in this state, you know, unless you're alumni from or it's all about the SEC. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a deal where, she's a rock star.
She's the official.
She's a rock star. But if we can get her
Totem Pole Nation,
man, anytime we can get her on.
I don't know about the early mornings, but I definitely know she's ready to get back on here and educate Totem Pole Nation about the upcoming things with SEC as well as.
Can we lock that down, Coach Hutch?
Really
good.
Can we
get her
on the
on
NFL
here
draft.
to give her? I want to see Coach Bald. I want to see Coach Hutch. Coach Tim, you need to wait a few episodes first. We don't need you to get too excited. All right, when she gets on here, there's a few coaches, they couldn't handle themselves when she came on. All right. And
I'm not surprised.
Sarah Blake Cheek is going to be the official voice of SEC football for Totem Pole Nation.
Yeah,
she's rocking with Totem Pole Nation.
Wow.
When it comes to SEC football, I guess she's going to Nashville. She's getting into pro wrestling.
Yes.
I think it's time for. You didn't know?
Oh, I knew, man. Are you
I
kidding
was about
me?
to say, you two guys are wrestling freaks.
That's the best thing in the world, man.
You are the ultimate wrestling freak, especially when it comes to the divas. But Sarah Blake Cheek, Tim said he can handle anything. I saw that.
Jim Tim's
I see you continue to post about Lola.
Slippers and socks allowance.
Hey,
So
where was he
Hutch,
walking?
Coach Bald, Sarah
Where
Blake
was he
Cheek.
walking last week?
Y'all need to get her on here, dude. We need a recap of spring games. SEC spring game.
Oh, man, that's a great idea.
We need it.
Georgia one.
Coach Hutch, you'll hit her up.
Well, I was just saying, I saw a little bit of the Georgia one the other day.
But will you hit her up to do a recap?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. She responds. She responded to me, saying she wanted to get back on. So it's just a matter of when. I mean, she is incredibly busy. She's got her business booming. She's got her moonshine business. She's still modeling. She's still doing all sorts of stuff. She's doing meet and greets. She was in New York. She was all, she's been all over the place.
And she's moving to Nashville.
Yeah. So
Nashville, Tennessee.
I got to throw it back, though, a little bit to you mentioned that Madness had gone up and was looking for Barstool. Coach Ball, do you got any update on the Madness and what he's getting into?
When you have a guy like that, anything is possible. I had some people put some feelers out there, and allegedly there was a situation in Baltimore. So we don't know if he got out of Baltimore. Apparently somebody said that he wasn't allowed to get on that next plane, what that was due to, that there's plenty of reasons in my head, just from seeing him and meeting him, that it's unlimited what he could have done wrong, where they wouldn't want to put him on the plane. I mean, honestly, he's the type of guy that you'd look at and be like, I don't know if I want to, I'll let me just walk the other way. You know what I mean? And we're big dudes, you know what I mean? And he's not the biggest of guys, but he's one of these guys that he just looks like just a live wire, man. He could go haywire at any minute. So, I was kind of surprised he even got, to Baltimore, to be honest. But we'll still got my feelers out there, trying to look for him. There's been some messages posted, under Totem Pole Nation on the Twitter feed. So apparently somebody has some kind of affiliates with them. But yeah, I haven't really heard from him since. I went on my beach trip. I haven't heard from him or seen him since. But there's some kind of affiliation with him. But we will be keeping an eye out. He might end up on a milk carton there in Richmond, Virginia. So keep posted on that.
I hope not. I was hoping he'd show up at the central office of Barstool and start challenging Frank the Tank.
Yeah, that would be.
Frank the Tank lives in the rich part of New Jersey. All right, North Jersey.
And I can promise you that Madness was not going to be ending up in that territory. Be the last place he would end up at.
You find Snooki in the Jersey Shore.
It could be, man. He could be floating in that thing.
I told you this the other day, and I'm not a media personality. I'm not a podcast guy. I'm not a performer in any sense of the word. But you've been to wrestling school, Coach Hutch. After watching Coach Bald has better screen presence than people who have been in professional wrestling and entertainment for years. Is this just something that is natural, Coach Hutch, to Coach Bald?
I think, the charisma's there. That's the thing that they look for is, do you have the charisma? And without a shadow of a doubt, Coach Bald, you got it.
So will we be at Sarah Blake Cheek's first entrance into, I believe it's Maryland Championship Wrestling? It's like the WCW logo, but the first W is flipped over, but it's actually not in Maryland anymore. And I could see Coach Bald, Coach Hutch, and the Madness, and another mask man.
I love seeing live wrestling events. I won't lie to the Totem Pole Nation. I'm not a big fan of watching it on TV because I absolutely hate commercials, and I hate, I like some promos, but I hate when some promos just fall flat, and I'm just like, what am I even watching? But no, seeing actual wrestling, 100%. Like, my favorite thing to do is WWE live shows where it's just nothing but wrestling. So wherever you go, Sarah Blake, we want to see you. We'll be there. We can make it happen as long as our schedule allows. We can definitely make that happen.
Yeah, let me co-sign on that, man. I totally agree. To me, it's similar to watching, hockey live. On TV, it's just different. You don't hear, the collisions and stuff like that. To see them live it's a whole nother level. And it's just a great family, both of them, great family atmospheres. And man, I totally agree. And yeah, Miss Cheek, you are the best. You're a rock star. Anytime you can make for us it is definitely appreciated.
I'm putting out a challenge.
Oh, and let me mention this too. There's a possibility with Totem Pole Nation that there may be a music video shot in the backyard. Maybe a music video shot here in the backyard. So who knows? Right. Maybe we can get Miss Cheek to make a cameo appearance.
She's getting ready to move. You better hit her up.
It might be country music. So, and I know she's moving to Nashville, so that might just work out just perfect. But yeah, I think that's going to be at the end of the month.
Morgan Wallen down there with you.
As soon as you said that, I just see Coach Ball doing the Carlton in the background of the music video.
No, I'll be the guy doing security, doing this number, walking around, right, checking IDs.
I got a challenge for Coach Hutch and Jim Tim.
Uh-oh.
Coach Hutch, here's your mission. If you choose to accept it, is to get Sarah Blake Cheek on here to give us a recap of the SEC spring games. All right. And I think you're pretty willing to do that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, here's the challenge to Jim Tim. Jim Tim, your challenge is, and I don't want to see you get arrested, okay, or incarcerated. Your challenge is to get Lolo Jones to come on Totem Pole Nation and talk about who is the best athlete in the history of LSU. All right, now, Jim Tim, that I'm not giving you permission to enter onto her place of residence. But if you get her on here, Jim Tim, you will be a part of that. You will be on here with Lolo Jones. Coach Bald, do you think Jim Tim can make this happen?
Jim Tim, I want you to listen to me clear, brother. These are my words of wisdom, my key to life. Do not get arrested. There you have it. There you have it. That's all I got. Do not. That's all I got for you, James.
That's a
That's
goal.
all I got for you, buddy. That's
a goal every day, Jim Tim.
Every day, that's my words of wisdom to you, my man.
We're not going to get arrested. Now, look, is this not a form of impromptu? Is this not a form of improv, Coach Hutch?
This is, yeah, improv. I mean, we don't script anything. We might have some bullet points what we're going to talk about, but you know, we never know what's gonna happen, especially when we got Madness, Jim Tim, and of course Coach Bald on here. We don't know what direction we're gonna go, and hopefully it's on Pole Nation. You find it entertaining, but we don't know. We have no idea, and I think that's the best part about it.
Coach Bald, who's the greatest guy ever to not write a single lyric down?
Jay-Z. Biggie Smalls didn't either. Hey, look at the words of wisdom from TT Heidi. Do you see that? Do you see what she just commented?
So, yeah, do not get arrested. But Jim Tim has already been kicked off of Twitter. When you got Elon Musk running that thing, letting all sorts of people back on.
Uh-oh.
What happened,
Jim Tim, we don't need you to admit to being kicked off Twitter on this platform. Okay, because we don't need the two-letter people, starts with an A and ends with an I, after us. We don't need the three-letter people, starts with an F and ends with an I, or the other three-letter people that start with a C and ends with an A, coming after us.
Yeah, or, you know, if Jim Tim goes on his rant, then the other one that starts with an N and ends with an A and has a little S right there in the middle.
We are a friend of the United States government, okay? We support America. Look, we support America. Sergeant Slaughter is coming on Totem Pole Nation. And even the Iron Sheik is a great American, all right? He is a citizen of our country, even though he was born in Iran, and he supports America. He actually trained American wrestlers for the Olympics. Jim Tim says, okay, peace, I'll shut up. We don't want you to be quiet, Jim Tim. All right? But those friends that you have that are on those other podcasts, all right, I think they may have some enemies. I was talking about God with him. Well, we are all about God, family, and football. St. Vince Lombardi, Jim Tim. Coach Hutch, what do you think?
Vince Lombardi or Jim Tim?
I mean, they're synonymous?
The two are synonymous.
Vince Lombardi and Jim Tim, when you say one, I think of the other. Because that's how high of respect and how high of a pedestal I put you on, Jim Tim. St. Vince Lombardi, the patron saint of football.
Interesting stuff. Coach Bald, wanted to ask you a little bit about the trip that you took What was the highlight of the trip, or what was the most unexpected thing that happened on your trip?
I think the highlight, we went to karaoke one evening, and there was a gentleman we ran into, and he introduced himself. His name was Chuck. He was 80 years old, and he went out there and he sang a Brian Adams song. Everything I do it for you. And he had just lost his wife 3 months before. And we all sat there around him. And I was the first one to talk to him, introduced him to everybody. And he had the best time with us. We bought him, all the beers he wanted. And it was a good time. And it just, to me, in my mind, it was as if we had, met up and got to hang out and have a beer with Coach McNally. Wow. You know what I mean? But for him to get up there and sing, and we cheered him so loud, we sang a little bit, and I got a picture with him and everything. And it just that right there, it meant so much. And it just made a huge impact, and it was just such a small thing. And, the next time we went up there, we were looking for him. We didn't find him, but yeah, man, it was just it was that right there was probably the highlight of the thing. And what was the other question, Coach?
And the most unexpected thing, or the most surprising thing that happened, because whenever you're out there, especially you're in Florida, people watching is bar none to anywhere else. So
we stumbled into this place, and I guess you'll have to check their website or something. It's I've never seen anything like it. It's called Malhoffers. Okay, if you're ever in the Treasure Island, Indian Rocks Beach area, go to Malhoffers. It is probably one of the worst places of the worst. There were rumors too that is one of the main hangouts for the madness. So that would be a place that I would say was definitely the most shocking that and I've, worked tons of bars and restaurants and stuff like that. You'd think you'd seen everything, but man, when you go to this place, holy cow, it's on a whole nother level. It's almost like being in a cave, a cave on the beach, if that even has any merit to it. But yeah, it's like a cave, and they just have stuff everywhere. Like they just have, like, people can go in there and, put stickers up, or I guess they got a staple gun in there and people staple stuff. So you see stuff from all over the world. It's pretty wild.
Hey, you be my friend. Y'all didn't even laugh, man.
I was confused.
I think you got too much coffee.
Is that your Florida man impression?
I think your coffee then ran out.
The Florida man?
Yeah.
Who's the Florida man?
You don't know about the Florida man? Actually, they got a movie about the Florida man, or a TV show.
I don't know anything. You've known me for almost a year. Okay?
Yeah.
Will your life ever be the
Taylor,
same?
what is your month and day of your birthday?
The what?
Your month and day of your birthday.
August 7th, 1978. Okay? And if you need my social security number, I'll give it to you.
All right. On August 7th, 2021, a Florida man was arrested after biting off part of a friend's ear. On August 7th, 2019, a Florida man said he smoked THC because Jesus said Jesus was returning.
Florida man and madness, they may be brothers.
Florida man may be making appearance on this show, but now Florida man has to keep his identity secret.
Florida man on August 7th slipped laxatives into somebody's medication.
Oh, man, that may or may not have happened before. Coach Hutch, you've almost known me a year. Tell Coach Bald, what did people say when they found out you were coming over here to coach with me? Tell Coach Bald.
I heard Coach Taylor was one of the most foul-mouthed people in the county. I heard he was demeaning to his players and his staff. And it's a prime example of all of the BS that people spew about other people without actually knowing what's going on in an organization or in a person's life. Because I don't believe I've heard Coach Taylor curse one time. I'm guilty of cursing when the heat of the moment happens sometimes, but at the same time, I've seen him get angry. I've seen him get upset. But that's being a head football coach in high school. You get angry when a referee makes a terrible call and almost kills one of your players. You get upset.
Which time?
Yeah, exactly. Which time? That's a good question.
Did you see the play where I ran out on the middle of the field and was putting on a spectacle, Kyle, at the end of the Manchester game?
Yeah, that was a head-to-head contact to end the game. End the game targeting, and they ran off the field. And that's where I lost it too. Because you can put me on the record.
Which time did you lose it? Was this with or without Powhatan coaches on the field?
No, I actually kept my cool during that. I was getting accosted by a guy with a peg leg. Didn't really have a peg leg. It was a walking crutch. We looked like a peg leg. He's a female cleaning device. Yeah. So, actually, we don't have to see that guy anymore. We're pretty positive he got dismissed.
Actually, he's back, but they allowed him to come back, even though he assaulted me. I was assaulted after a game this year. First time I've ever been assaulted on a football field as a coach. But hey, I guess certain rules only apply to certain teams.
Yeah,
hey, what goes around comes around, right, Coach?
When we put 50 on them this season, they can forget all about it.
I am more pumped up than ever for Totem Pole Nation because we are the low man on the totem pole. We are the common man.
Yeah, Totem Pole Nation. We got some good stuff coming up here in the future, right? The summer is getting ready to roll around. We got events. We got football starting back up. It'll be here before you know it. So, I mean, it's 4 months away, but it'll be here before you know it. We're going to be at games. We're going to be at races. We're going to be at all sorts of stuff. So I was actually trying to think about ways for us to get our press pass. We got 100,000 subscribers. I think we can get a little press pass and get a little all access going on.
I know somebody that can hook us up. Mr. Rollback. Mr. Rollback became bigger than Walmart. He's from Amelia, Virginia. Mr. Rollback got fired by Walmart. He was probably the last great thing Walmart did. And
I think we got to get that situated because I think it'll help us big time just in terms of just our content, not about trying to sneak it. I've been to so many events, I can get in anywhere. But I'm saying as far as getting a little bit more access to creating some content for Totem Pole followers and Totem Pole Nation. So, Coach Ball, why don't you tell us about St. Pete Rejuvenate?
Check us out right now, guys. Go to our website, stpeterejuvenate.com. As soon as you go there, there'll be a link that you can click on to enter for a free Beachbody weight loss Ozempic shots. If you haven't been hearing about it, you need to get out of the sand.
And I'm getting on it, right?
Get under the covers. We can make that happen, Coach. You let me know. You say the word, Coach. You say the word. Look, we can get a car to you. We can get you lean, mean, fighting machine. But right now, we're doing a whole month free. All you got to do is enter to win, and we will hook you up. All right, this is life-changing right here. It's getting to be beach season. It's always beach season around here. But, hey, those pools will be opening up there. Am I right?
Do you think Coach McNally would take it?
I don't think he needs to.
I don't think he would need it.
He don't need to. Yeah.
Well,
he's 80 years old, roughing out more pull-ups than the majority of my students.
But he's a little sensitive about his weight. That's why he wears a weight belt.
Dude, he's got testosterone of a freaking 20-year-old, man. You see how many freaking – dude, he's doing more pull-ups than any OL coach that's not named Scott Peters. You heard? Yeah. That dude is an absolute savage.
Scott Peters.
But also, hey,
Scott
check
Peters.
Anybody that's dealing with that massive depression, chronic pain, our ketamine therapy infusion is amazing. We just did a 10-minute podcast with Fidel Sierra,
legend.
the Cuban assassin, pro wrestlers for 40 years. He's done cage matches, barbed wire matches, you name it. He's done it. And the guy has had his bones bruised, broken, beaten, and we have helped him. We have cut his pain in more than in half, and we have changed his life. There's so many things that we're doing there. Check it out, stpeterejuvenate.com. They love us here at Totem Pole Nation, and we're glad they're with us. And yeah, man, just so inspired by it. Check out that podcast, guys, with Cuban Madman, Cuban Assassin, Fidel Sierra. We have helped that man. We have changed him. And Coach Hutch, if it ever comes down to it, man, we'd love to have you down here too as well, man. I know, over your football career, MMA career, and your wrestling career, I know you've got a lot of pain that you're just working through, man. Maybe this could be something that helps you. And like you said earlier, man, it does. It's different. Some people maybe do 2 or 3 treatments and they're fine. Some people it takes 10. And, sometimes the pain goes away for 9 to 10 months. Sometimes it goes away for the rest of your life. So it's definitely worth looking into.
I can attest to that. Like we had talked about, my uncle,
you have family.
He does that up in Pennsylvania. So you're obviously a different part of the country, but his stories of his patients coming in there, and the man was a surgeon for 40 years, found out the benefits of this and started doing it. And so, wherever you can go to get it, if you're down there in that St. Petersburg area, go check them out. St. Pete Rejuvenate. If you've got, like Coach Ball just said, chronic pain, PTSD, all sorts of different things, I mean, it can really change your life. And then on the flip side too, can't forget CBD, all natural, non-psychoactive. It's a good thing to build up in your system. It does help with anxiety, helps with pain and inflammation. It's a neuroprotectant, which is probably the coolest thing about it, protecting our brains, because we only get one opportunity to make sure those things stay pretty good. And, everybody knows you go down to a trip in Florida for a little vacation, you might lose a couple brain cells. So taking CBD might help alleviate that. Again, I don't really know. That one was a joke right there. But the neuroprotectant aspect of it, check it out. cultivatewellness.com. They're fantastic people there, and they do ship nationwide as well.
Amen, guys. Don't ever put a price tag on your health, okay? Health is wealth. You can't put a price tag on feeling great every day and wanting to just crush your day. But yeah,
I have so much fun
guys.
when y'all are on here, man. Coach Hutch, I have so much fun when you're on here.
It's a good time.
Amen. We can take coffee
great
breaks.
Great way to start the morning.
Amen, brother.
Let's go.
Great stuff, guys.
All right, gentlemen. Y'all have a fabulous day. Totem Pole Nation, thank you so much. Enjoy y'all's Wednesday. Guess what day it is?
I don't know. Thursday?
Hump Day.
That's
only the best Geico commercial they ever made. But yeah, Totem Pole Nation, we love you, and we hope to continue providing you content that you all enjoy. And check out that view that Coach Ball's got right there.
We love you guys. We'll see you guys in the morning.
All right. Have a fabulous Wednesday.